they've just got the dude that's like whatever the R&B jazz singer from the train station
All right.
said the
Right.
drinker said
Have the Native Americans came in yet?
not at all.
They come in for a very like blip of a second, but that just lets me know.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
So
will
we
finish it. But I'm the king of starting stuff, TV, magazine articles, and movies, and not being able to finish it. Her and her and I, you're not a horror or not really like crazy action or fantasy.
Horror movie class in college.
Well, the classics, right?
Yeah,
Rosemary's
like,
Baby,
there was like all this
Psycho.
psychology of like why people like to watch horror movies.
And in theaters especially.
What is the psychology? I don't understand.
I didn't really get it then. It was kind of like one of those classes you took as like it was a joke bird class. Um, People like to feel scared.
Feel scared.
I don't know
makes you
why.
feel alive, I think.
I guess they like that rush.
Love the rush, the jump scare. And I think watching it in theaters is that like communal experience.
Want to pull your mic a little closer to
Of course, this is
Fine.
So yours is yeah. You can pull yours even closer to like towards you. Just like
Oh.
Yeah. This is gonna be a reoccurring problem with me, and I used to work in film. I should know better. Yeah.
I feel like you're sitting. You're at your. I mean, it doesn't matter, but
You want me to face you more?
yeah, you're like staring at the camera.
You
want
know?
to stare at the camera and
I
not
don't.
me?
I don't. I don't. I have to stare at myself on the podcast anyway.
Well,
you
this
know.
is my camera.
Yes. Okay. Look, come on. We'll get better. Wolf is a great hand holder. And I used to do this for a living, and still was never in front of the camera. So here we are.
Okay.
Well,
You want to start?
Friday, September 5th,
Okay.
about 7:34 Eastern Standard Time, New York City, New York.
I wanted to start this episode differently, but we just walked here. I'm sweating.
Forced
It is
march.
Friday night.
Mhm.
But we didn't have to take a cab here.
No.
Even though our kids were not great, but we rushed here. And it's Friday night. It's like 80 something degrees, or at least the high was that today. And
City's
we
fine.
walked, the studio's on Canal Street, and we walked down Canal Street. And honestly, I feel good because
Yes.
I've been losing faith in New York of late a little bit. And there's some flavor still left on Canal Street. However, interestingly enough, there's a lot of basic things now as well. There's like
Yeah.
people waiting around the corner, like on like West Broadway and further
Broadway
west,
Canal,
like waiting for pizza.
Northeast corner.
Because like some influencer told them to go there. And then there's
There used to be a Bank of America, like
know,
non-teller.
some like interesting looking
place.
cool retail shops, and then there's just the African
handbag,
mafia.
handbag. Rolex. I was a little intrigued.
I mean, we used to live on White and Church, and the corner of Church and Canal is like where it pops off, but even all the way,
I
like,
want to say that's like the muscle. That's like the barracks.
it's right outside
They have
that
a grill. They
that-
have a fucking grill.
that smoke shop.
Smoke shop.
I
A
want to
couple
party with them.
couple of deserted buildings. They hold it down. But I thought that the handbag situation had been scaled back. I thought it was just Canal between Church and Broadway.
No.
Tonight.
No, we hardly ever walk this far east, and it
Yeah.
goes east. It goes more east.
Amazing. We could barely cross Broadway. Broadway looked like something from a country that's like, it was just crazy. There were 100 bikes.
I
there
recall
were
this being
1,000
such
civilians.
a Chinese racket when we were like teenagers.
Yes. No.
And you had
It's
to like,
increasingly
it was
African.
sort of hidden.
Yeah.
You had to like go through what looked like a souvenir shop to like the back. You like had to like go
Yes.
get that like Louis Vuitton.
Right.
I did buy them, which is cringe to think about in retrospect.
I think every European that's ever come to New
No,
York,
but I'm not
buys them.
European. But like we all did, because like
They got
those,
that
like,
LVMH
especially when,
shit.
like the Louis Vuitton bags really, were super cool.
You
You could get one that looked like it was,
they've got to be pretty good.
$350 or whatever it was.
Fucking Louis Vuitton. The guy had Rolexes. The watches looked incredible. I saw a guy, in the pocket.
I wasn't
of one
even
of these.
checking out the merch because I was just like,
I know.
laser focused to get here.
It was a punt return for you. You're just trying to get through traffic.
I'm also like not trying to like.
But they're outside here. They're probably on the Manhattan Bridge. That's some shit. I'm shocked the shop owners aren't like, get the fuck off of our.
No, they're all in front of roll down gates.
Exactly. And also, I think the traffic is always good for business. So
Yeah.
like, get a fire like Petit Philippe watch, get an I love New York shirt, and like an I love like New York mug, and be on your way off to One World Trade or the Freedom Tower, which is
Anyway.
yeah.
So we launched the podcast this week. This is the second time in the studio, which is cool, exciting. It felt really good. We recorded our first episode like weeks and weeks ago and waited till like after Labor Day, back to school set season,
Mhm.
sort of to drop it.
Yeah.
Our friends seem to like it, so that, or at least they're being nice to us, so that's
Yes.
cool.
And thank you for on both accounts, both listening and saying nice things, even if you don't mean it. It's fine. Lie to us. I couldn't handle the truth anyway. So
But I
please
also
continue.
like with that, and even though we dropped our episode on Wednesday,
Yep.
I
You're doing
committed to the
you're doing the hacker
internet
thing.
and our few followers that they were episodes coming out every Thursday
Yep.
from here on out. And like, although this is mainly ranting, banter, silly levity, I realize next Thursday is September 11th,
Yep.
and didn't feel quite right to drop banter about, we'll have our banter. We just did, but like it felt not right to drop a full episode of straight banter and silliness, because that day is so
Transformative.
significant,
Mhm.
transformative, like it's part of my constitution. I'm sure you feel like that in a way too, if not fully like that.
Yep.
It's part of my story. It's part of my like wounds and my scars and my trauma. And so I think that like any New Yorker who is here that day or not here that day in a different part of the country, I honestly think
Washington,
most
DC
of
as
the
well.
world remembers that day,
Yes.
if they were like of age to remember it pretty clearly. And so I thought it would be um, the right thing to do. And honestly, I'm nervous right now to like tell my September 11th, 2001 story, because I was there pretty much. And I've never really like, well, I've never spoken about it publicly because I've never done a podcast before or anything like this. But regardless, I'm gonna try to do it, and we'll see how it goes. Harry will then share some stuff about his day, and jump in with questions, Harry, to like help me get through this if it becomes difficult. But
course.
maybe it won't be. Maybe it'll be cathartic. So I think I mentioned, and for all of our friends and like people we know personally that are listening to this podcast, I went to Stuyvesant High School on Chambers Street, like literally a few blocks from the World Trade Center.
Maybe a 10 minute walk.
And I was a senior in high school during the time, and I can remember like the day vividly. So I was in zero period. I always took zero period because I like to start school at 8 o'clock in the morning because I like to have a free period in between school and practice, and it was swim season. I was also in calculus class, and like, leave it to Steiner's, we were having a quiz. It was calculus at 8 a.m. and
the
it
fourth
was
day
like
of
the
school?
second day of school, and we were having a quiz,
Typical.
which is so
Typical.
I can't even.
You
I
probably
don't really
You
understand
probably
that.
all got hundreds.
No, we didn't finish the quiz.
Oh, right. Sorry. You would have. You would have.
But anyway, the first plane hit the World Trade Center, the first tower, when we were taking our calculus quiz, and people heard it, freaked out, didn't know what was going on. The teacher, Mrs. Latham, was like, "I was here for the bombing. Like, everything's fine. Don't worry." And we all thought at the time, like, "Oh, this is a small, like, a
Cessna.
small nothing, accidentally hit, a building, whatever. Like, too
100%.
sad, but like a couple people on the plane."
In the building.
And you know, the principal eventually got on the PA and said, like, everyone calm down, stay where you are, go to your next class. So my next class was acting. What a joke class. Like, Brandon, shouts to Brandon if you're listening to this, my boy. Um at STI, it was such a math science school. You got to like choose your humanities, and I chose acting. I guess he did too, because it was like Miss Scheinman was our teacher. She was awesome, but like it was kind of a joke class. Although I think Brandon did some voice acting.
You know?
Actually, now that I
Well,
think about it.
yes.
Anyway, I arrived at like acting class,
Mhm.
and Miss Scheinman was nowhere to be found. So there were like 20, 30 kids, whatever, in the classroom, and each STI was like pretty high tech. We all had we had flat screens in the classrooms at the time, and this was however many,
Wow.
2001. And so we put the news on, and like we were watching the news, which was insane, obviously. And we were watching we had a direct view.
Your
up.
classroom faced
Yeah,
southeast.
watching, like, we had a direct view,
Right.
watching the
Of course.
towers.
2 biggest buildings in the world
And
at
I
the time.
think that at that time, it's a little, I could like go back and get the actual timestamps of everything, but like
Uh,
at the time, I think that we were watching the news as the woman who's ever seen that clip or multiple clips of that, like when the second plane was hitting.
Right.
And so we like watched that happen while it was happening on the news, and like while we were watching the towers. So fucking surreal. And I think it was at that moment, it was either that moment or when the first tower collapsed, that
Yeah.
Brandon and I looked at each other. We were like very close friends. And the teacher didn't make it to the classroom because she had gotten stopped on Chamber Street because the first plane had already hit. It was first period, and she wasn't even allowed down the block. So there was no one watching us.
Right.
So we jumped out of the classroom.
I'll give a time frame because I did do some cheating and I looked it up. It was around 8:45 that the first tower was hit, and 17 minutes later the second tower was hit. So go ahead.
Yeah, so the second tower was already hit while we were in second period or first period. And then
Within 50 minutes, apparently, the first tower came down. And I'm sorry to everyone that I'm for forgetting if it was the north or south tower that got hit first. I feel like it was the north, and then it was the south, but I could be.
yeah, I think when the first tower collapsed, that's when Brandon and I freaked the fuck out, for lack of a better there is no better term.
Definitely.
There's no words for like the feelings, honestly, but like
You're in an active war zone, basically. Yeah.
we just were like, we got to get the fuck out of here. And we bolted out of the classroom because there was no one watching us. Everybody else who had a teacher in the classroom was like locked. They were like, the school was like locked down.
Locked down, yeah.
But we like bounced out we knew how to get out of the school because we cut class, but like we bounced out of like the back
On the promenade side,
stairway,
not on the
and like
chamber
just
side.
pushed our way out. Like, I guess there was a security guard somewhere, but we just like pushed our way out. We wound up meeting up with our friend Dickie
Yeah.
in the stairwell. So the three of us just get outside.
So
We're like-
serendipitously, he had the same idea. You did.
he saw us, like, because we weren't in the same class. We at some point,
You're
it's a
great.
little blurry. Like,
Also, you guys are grades apart. You are one.
he
grade
was in the
apart, yes.
stairwell too.
Yeah.
And so just the three of us pretty much like left the school. There were 3,200 kids at Stuyvesant, like,
Massive
and plus the staff. We just start bolting down the West Side Highway.
And 3,200, for anyone listening that doesn't know, is a huge New York City public high school.
Yeah.
Huge, one of the biggest in terms of student body.
And
Probably anywhere, to be honest.
and I just like, we start running. There are people running down the West Side Highway. There are no cars at this point, like people running from the trade center from even closer. Like,
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I think it must have been it was some sort of first responder or military, I don't know, screams like run, like
Just run.
run.
Just run.
Like the second tower is gonna come down. And like
Most human instincts want to survive.
it
get
was
out.
just
crazy.
like it's surreal. Like you just like go into this like flotation.
You probably
zone,
had an outer body experience. Yeah.
pretty much. So like
Yeah.
and I like I was just like probably having a panic attack. I had never had a panic attack before, but like I was running, but I couldn't keep up like at the pace that Brandon and Dickie were. They were coming back for me. Anyway, we wind up getting like far enough away. The tower came down, the second tower came down, and we looked back to Stye, and all like you could see was a black cloud. Like you couldn't
Dust.
see anything. You couldn't see the school. We didn't know like where anybody was, any of our friends, like any of the teachers, like having a bit of a meltdown, obviously.
Right.
And I was like, we have to keep, like, I was the one that was like, we have to keep moving. We have to keep moving. And we wound up walking like for what seemed like an eternity, and we wound up at Brandon's father's office in Midtown somewhere.
Yep.
Um, and we got up there, and I had I think I said this on the last episode about like my cell phone that I was never allowed to turn on unless it was an emergency because it probably cost $1 million to make a phone call, but the cell phones weren't working, right?
Totally jammed up.
And I
We're
think about this,
talking
like I can.
one cell phone.
So like the first thing we do, obviously we get there. I don't even know, whatever. Brandon's father's obviously like thrilled to see us, and he's like immediately like, you have to call your parents, like.
Clear headed.
And I didn't even like.
And you didn't think to call your parents when you were running
Well,
office.
there was no
You-
cell
you
phone
weren't thi- and you
service,
weren't
like.
thinking. You were surviving.
And
You were
I can
living.
just like remember like, calling my mom that day, and like her just like choking basically on the phone,
I'm sure.
like
I'm sure.
scream, like
You'll never unhear
like
sob.
no, like the
Right.
primal noise that came from her. And now that I'm a mother, like I can relate to it in a totally different way.
Yeah.
Like she's like, there was no one picking up at the school. Like all you see on the TV is like just devastation. No one knows what's happening. Total chaos, obviously. And I just like that noise sticks with me.
Of course.
And then from there, we somehow, I don't know how we linked up, but we linked up with other friends, Ryder in particular, because we walked over the Williamsburg Bridge. Like we went from Midtown, Brandon's dad's office. I don't know how Ryder wound up there too, because there was no way to communicate. But like
Right.
he wound up there too. Maybe they can fill in the gaps for me on this, but like we then walked over the Williamsburg Bridge. It was so hot that day. It was like 90 degrees. We're walking, and there were just people all over the bridge,
Yeah.
like that had lived in Williamsburg with just like gallon jugs of water, like
Yeah.
offering people water. Got over the bridge, got to like Ryder's parents' loft because that's where he lived at the time. It still does actually. And I called my parent, like that my parents knew that was the plan. And then my dad and my cousin Jeff came and drove from Rockaway to Williamsburg
With or without baseball bats on the
with
truck.
baseball bats in the trunk of the car because that's how they were going to defend themselves.
Yes.
Because
Right.
they're not gun people, but
No,
like
right.
they had bats.
They had bats. It's a very
Uh,
Brooklyn thing to do.
my dad slept with a bat by his bed every night. Like, okay.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. And then the next, like, I could talk about the aftermath after, but we got back to Rockaway. I'll let you tell your day story, but like, Rockaway is a very special place for a number of reasons. And one of them is it's a community full of first responders.
Civil servants.
It's
Literally the
like,
breeding ground.
like cops and firemen,
Teachers.
and
nurses.
also some young stockbrokers. And it was one of the most devastated communities in the city, if not the most devastated. I think there were close to, it's a small town, and I think there were close to 80 people who died that day from the town. So
Neighborhood.
I can I can, talk about the aftermath after Harry shares his story, because I think that's interesting too, or not interesting, but just kind of relevant.
Sure.
Hopefully that was like at some sort of normal pace. I kind of blacked out during that.
Yeah, totally. Yes, I think that's, yes, it was not, that was coherent. I'm stumbling over my words. I'm just thinking, I know all the people that you just mentioned, and I know the exact geography you've just mapped out, and I'm running through it myself. I guess it's kind of morbid and diluted, but, I just can't imagine. We were seniors in high school, important to note, in 2001, and then graduated in 2002. So we're talking in New York City on September 11th, which was a Tuesday. We had probably been in school, as in like school's in session, summer break is over, max 4 or 5 days. I remember it was a Tuesday. As you said, it was hot. It was crystal clear blue outside. It was just like basically a perfect late summer getting into fall day. So my story, your high school, again, as I said earlier, I kind of muttered, your high school in what were then the Twin Towers, 10-minute walk tops. For a New Yorker walking, we're talking 8 minutes. A southeast walk of 8 minutes. I'm sure you guys got like, you guys essentially were in the blast radius. I mean, you were. It was covered in dust, your school. I went to school at Beacon High School, which at the time was on 61st Street between Amsterdam and West End. My day, different from yours, but nonetheless, obviously, when I think about it, and I was thinking about this today, is you and I discussed the episodes, and again, guys, we don't do much prep, but we just kind of wing it here. I'm sure you can hear that. I was to this day, and this includes the day I was married, the day that people in my family have died, the day that my kids were born. I think I have very vivid memories of all these days, no question. But of all the days I've just mentioned, September 11th, I basically remember exactly what I was wearing. And in terms of like, the timestamps you're talking about, like these kind of benchmarks throughout the day, um, I just have very vivid memories. I mean, really crystal clear. I know people that lived through like the JFK assassination, like monumental things that are shattering for on a human level, shattering on a national level, really kind of just like create a scar for the national psyche. Obviously September 11th is one of them. I know people remember exactly where they were and what they, things like that. But I remember what I was wearing, and my day started like this. Both my parents worked in the film industry, so my dad was on location. I want to say he was on location in Manhattan. My sister could clarify that for me. But I remember him calling, and I was home, oddly enough, and he called the landline. Freaking, millennial alert. We had landlines. And he called the landline as my mom and I were home. Why? I looked back at the time of when the first tower was hit. I think it was 8:43 or 8:46, something like that. I just looked at Wikipedia before we got here. Why I was home, I don't know. I was either late for school or I didn't have a first period because I was a senior and my first class was at 9:20. Beacon oddly worked on like the 20s. This is how I recall it. I basically remember exactly what I was wearing. I remember the travel soccer bag I had that I was taking to school because I was on the Beacon soccer team. I remember my dad calling, and he's like, my mom picks up. He's like, put Harry on the phone. Um, and he was insistent. He was like, you can't go to school. I'm like, for whatever reason, obviously I'm 17. I wasn't even 18 at the time. You know, teenage hubris. I'm at the peak of just being like, not, just like
An
not,
asshole.
yeah, just like,
Self-centered dick.
like nothing matters besides, what matters in high school, right? Like no, not any like concept of like not feeling the gravity of the situation, which, whatever. I was 17. I can't blame a 17-year-old, looking back at almost 41, looking at a 17-year-old. It makes sense. Said, don't go to school. I said, I'm going to. He said, okay, like just be careful. That's pretty much just the conversation. Like I can't stop you from doing this at this point. I'm not home and my mom wasn't going to stop me. My high school was 4 train stops away on the 1 train from where I lived, 86th Street to 61st, quick jaunt, but I decided to walk. Probably came to school sweaty. Naturally, I was wearing a long sleeve shirt. I remember that. I was wearing like a light sweater, jeans, whole thing. Remember going into my class, and just giving a look to my fellow classmates who also, I think, were too young to fully understand and grapple the weight of the situation, which obviously unfolded for the many years after the fact, but giving them this look of like bewilderment and disappointment. Um, my teacher, my history/English teacher, taught both subjects, go figure, was Meryl Streep's brother, Harry Streep. And I remember, and I thought about this as I'm thinking about it today, his presence in the class, as all of us are like, what the hell is happening? Are we like fully under attack? I had the same kind of outlook that you did, or like same thought process as you did. I'm like, what moron pilot, either a personal, like a hobbyist or like some like commercial pilot just flew into the Twin Towers. Like, this is horrible. This is crazy. The fact that it was an act, like a terrorist attack and an act of war was not even was not clear until, whatever it was. I think 17 minutes later, the second tower was hit. And then it was like, or 13 minutes later, this is happening. So we all know what happened that day. It's probably the most videoed event that's ever existed. I'd like literally, basically all of modern technology was available at the time. It looked like a movie. If you watch it, it looks like an action movie. It's crazy, and I think that was the point, is to make it that visceral. I remember specifically there was a girl in my class that asked the teacher, can I smoke a cigarette in the class right now? And she was sitting on the windowsill of our class and was like, I'll open the window. Can I smoke a cigarette right now? The teacher had the presence of mind not to be like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, what are you doing? He was just like, I'm not gonna say her name. He's like, you can't smoke a cigarette in this class right now. I remember distinctly, we eventually got shuffled into our gymnasium, which had like 12-foot ceilings. It was such a bootleg building for a school. Like our basketball team had to practice at the Y. It was a joke. Beacon is now in a bigger and newer school, so good for you guys. We all got shuffled into the auditorium. I want to say all the grades did, but like Beacon had 700-800 kids, so like they must have divided us up somehow. But I do remember I was, I'm a senior. I do remember sophomores in that auditorium. Anyway, TV's on, CNN blaring, whatever it may have been. And then I remember, seeing George Bush get told we're under attack, and he's reading in front of a bunch of kids, I think in like Louisiana or something. Like God knows what was going through
Wow.
his head. But anyway, I remember all those beats. And then we were locked in school. I did hear ambulances flying down 11th Avenue, flying down the West Side Highway. Obviously, things were really bad, and it became, again, perfectly clear that this was something horrible was happening. Obviously, something horrible happened in DC as well, the Pentagon and over Pennsylvania. So these are 4 planes. One of my best, but one of my,
How did the day end? Like,
so
how did you
I'll
get
get to that
out?
quickly. I'll hurry up.
Sorry.
Eventually we were let out of school. At what time? I don't know if it was 3 o'clock. I don't know if it was 5, but I take one of my friends who was on the soccer team. He lived in Park Slope, and he couldn't go to Park Slope at the time. So he came to my apartment. We walked home. My cousin, who lives in New Jersey, but worked in Midtown, she bought a pair of shoes at some retail place. My cousin Molly, she got to my parents' house. Of course, I get home. My dad had been drinking. And what else would you do? And I just remember him being like, as whatever the fighter jets were, the F-16s, F-15s, whatever, that were circling the city. I remember my dad saying it's about fucking time. And that was kind of it. And, later that night, met up with someone that went to your high school. We went out in Riverside Park. Again, we should have been inside what we were doing, and reflected on the day. And yeah, I was 4 or 5 miles north of where, where the Twin Towers were at the time. So it was very real, but we're not
You
talking.
didn't like see people jumping out of the building like I did.
No, did not see people jumping out of the
Thankfully for you,
Yes.
your sake. So like obviously like the day was over, but it, has forever changed myself, the world, but the aftermath was even like kind of crazier, right? Like you're 17,
Yep.
you just started high school or just started your senior year of high school. Stuyvesant wound up becoming a triage center, even though there was nothing to triage because everyone was dead. But like it was a triage, it was closed for a triage center.
Might have been all
We didn't have school for 2 weeks. And then we went to school at Brooklyn Tech.
Yeah.
Which was so interesting.
Yes.
I mean, not interesting. It was so, I guess they had to do something with us, but like, and thankfully, by the way, I don't think I said this, but like everyone in my school, the staff and all the kids got out of the building and were safe. And,
No casualties.
Fine, thankfully. I wasn't there. I don't really know how they got out orderly, but like, I don't think they really probably didn't get out orderly. And then everybody was kind of on their own once they got out of the building, I assume.
Yeah.
But anyway, we went to school at Brooklyn Tech in downtown Brooklyn, which was like another one in the group of specialized high schools.
Massive school.
We went to school from
Massive.
We did, and also a massive school.
But
They went to
truly
school.
massive.
The Brooklyn Tech kids went to
Fortress.
school from like 9 to 1, I think, and we went to Stuyvesant kids went to school from 2 to 5 there.
Crazy.
We didn't really go to school. Like we went to class. Like the classes were 20 minutes long, and like it was basically like the teachers didn't know what to do.
No.
Everybody was shell shocked, to say the least. And we just kind of talked. We wound up getting like special cases like for our college applications to be like postponed and our deadlines to get pushed back because we were just like in the midst of the whole, we were just not ourselves, to say the least. And then eventually, I guess, I think maybe it was 2 weeks at Brooklyn Tech. It wasn't that long, 3 weeks. We got back into the Stuyvesant building, but it was such a weird, obviously, senior year. Like there were checkpoints everywhere. Like to get to get down the blocks, we had to have like, we had security tags, like from to be students. We weren't allowed out of the building once we got into the building, and we used to be able to, we were treated like pretty, we're given a lot of autonomy there. Like we got to go outside for lunch, come and go as we pleased, really. But that we weren't allowed to go outside. And it was just like such a blur. Like straight up, we were just getting drunk all day in school. Like And I would have to imagine
You were
like,
like a lost generation,
yeah, or just like a year,
a
like,
lost year. Yeah.
and I've never talked to the kids, we're still close with that are a year younger than us, like what it was like for that, like what senior year was like once we were out of the building. But like the teachers knew what we were doing and like we were all grieving. Like we were all like mourning, traumatized, like and you didn't know it at the time, right? Like took me like however many years to like look back on it and be
Unpack it
like,
a bit. Yeah.
this was some shit. This was
Totally.
some real shit for a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Um and yeah, that year was such a blur. As I said before, like Rockaway was just devastated. Like it was just horrible. Like I had friends lose brothers and fathers and people lost sons and it was just, you know, it's such an interesting I keep saying interesting. There's nothing interesting about it, I guess. I don't know. I
I
can't
mean,
find the
there's a
right
ton
words.
interesting about it.
Like I can't
But
can't find the right like words for the feelings, but like there are just so many things about that year that I remember. Then there was a plane crash in Rockaway, like 2
in
months after on Veterans Day,
November something. Yeah.
November 12th,
Two
like,
blocks from your 2 blocks from your house.
around the corner from my house.
Yep.
I mean, that's for a different day, but, like, it just, uh I remember going to church. I'm not Catholic, like, I don't practice this stuff, but, like, I'd go to church, and most of the community is the church would be packed, like hundreds of people just like grieving together, like calling out names to pray for people. Um, it's just um yeah, it's really it's a part of who I am. So I thought it was a part important to, you know, and it's a part of all New Yorkers. And I know this
Yeah.
we're like New York pride on this podcast. And this episode's gonna air on the 24th anniversary
24th
of
anniversary.
that day, which is also incredible
Yeah.
how,
We've
time, what is time?
Yeah. I mean, we've said
Um,
recently, past what 2 or 3 years, it finally feels like it's like a ways away.
yeah.
If it feels like it does feel like it's a it's
And I've said this before, like, I don't think it's any coincidence that I now live around the corner from my high school and I have a soda company named after my hometown.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is directly correlated to that day.
Yeah.
Probably not consciously, but like when I think about it, it's not like a coincidence that, you know,
Right.
that's like where I feel like
Yes.
my heart is.
Right. That is right. That's your galaxy.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, and then just the anecdotal stories, 2 of your high school classmates, both a grade younger than us. I remember reading, I'm just going to name drop her. Our friend Thea posted something on Instagram.
I don't think we should say people's names, but that's okay. Oh, I said Brandon.
Yes.
Sorry.
She had posted something on Instagram that was very haunting about her. It might have been the 20th anniversary. I want to say it's like a round number. Very haunting that involves family members and just the total overwhelming feeling. I think everyone like imagine feeling completely helpless and completely scared, and that was top down, right? Like no one knew what was going on, and it was crazy.
I'm gonna try to pick it up a little bit.
Yeah.
um, on a bit of a happy note, or not happy note, and I saw this written recently, and it was coincidental to having this conversation today. But like, um, New Yorkers are really good in trauma.
Yes.
Um, you know,
Very, very
you
resilient city.
know,
It's
subsequent to
so-
that day,
kind of us at our best. Post Sandy.
Like Rockaway's had a lot of trauma in its own right after I mentioned another plane crash, hurricanes, so on and so
The blackout
yeah.
wasn't like the blackout, which was
I think there was like
wasn't madness.
just a lot of love and there was an energy in the city post that day that lasted for a really, really long time.
Easily.
You know, with mad love. I don't think
Yes.
there's better like New York words to say than there was like mad
And
love.
from basically everywhere.
Yeah.
Rest of the country,
Oh yes. and the
much
rest
of the world. I mean,
Um,
only time Article 5 has ever been enacted by NATO. All of NATO was at war. Just saying.
you can't help yourself.
I had to. You told me not to, and I had to. Just saying.
Okay. I'm
It's
just
a big
saying.
deal.
I just wanted to tell our stories. I
I
don't
know.
want to
I know. We don't have to get into
talk anything else than that
I
because
know.
it's not something that
Well documented. Read
I,
a book about it.
I don't need
Yeah, no, of course.
to debate that shit.
No, we're not.
Um,
We're not just saying how impactful it was.
um, so I think that, you know, New York was at its worst, but the people that were here were at their best, or as best as they could be for each other. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't really know how to segue into another topic here.
No, I mean it's
Um,
now we live by Memorial. We don't really go there. Um, you know, it's crazy. This seems like such a long time ago, but I looked at my Instagram, which has 10 pictures from 10 plus years ago, and one of my Instagram photos is the Freedom Tower, One World Trade, still being constructed. I mean, basically up and running to 2/3 of like the window panes. But I'm like, this is in the grand scheme of things, this is quite recent. Wasn't even 25 years ago, and the building itself wasn't probably fully operate. The new building probably 10 years ago. So this is some person's lifetime,
yeah,
very much.
I've had to go to those buildings for the first time, like in the past year. This is the first time I've
Yeah.
stepped foot in any of those, um, World Trade Center buildings. I've been invited to do so for work, and I've accepted the invitation. So I feel like I didn't think I would ever be able to go into those buildings, but has been some sort of healing, I guess, in
Yes.
4 years.
Yes.
But anyway,
And now,
but
just think about
how's
like
the weather?
just think about like the resilience of New York City and the resilience of America at large. But like, that was called Ground Zero. Battery Park City was almost entirely built up around it in many ways. The building we live in now was built in 2003. So
I
like,
know a
New
lot of
York is
people,
just like, we're going to trek on.
a
We're
lot
just
of
going to keep
people
doing
say that was like the inflection point. The inflection point for like
New York City
new
5.0.
Tribeca.
Sure.
I made up that term. That's not a term.
JFK
but like,
Jr. won.
But like,
Yes.
no, I'm just saying like there was a lot of demand to live in the neighborhood,
Which is
post
shocking.
that time, right?
Shocking.
And I think that's like when things started to really drastically change. Real
Tribeca
estate,
became
rather.
what Tribeca is.
Well,
Yes.
Tribeca was always fucking awesome, but like now it's just really rich awesome. It used to be like art, like all the kids that I grew up with that lived there were like artist lofts, and there was still like there was such a cool vibe to it. Now, trying to have it hold on a little bit. I mean, Canal Street, man, got me. Canal Street got me feeling good tonight.
That was
even though
incredible. I didn't realize they have like 1/3 of Canal on lock.
Yeah.
I'm getting a bag.
No, you're not.
I'm getting a belt.
I mean, you can. Why not? For fun.
I'm getting
$5.
a belt.
What kind of belt?
Like one, I don't know, Louis V. What are the kids wearing these days? I have no idea. Something ostentatious and an insane watch with a face like
We
size
know.
of baseball.
Keep inquiring about the kids.
I know. I saw
There was a lot
a young lady by BMCC rocking Juicy Couture. So another point for who put Juicy Couture on the map, us or Edie Falco, aka Carmela Soprano, from The Sopranos. I don't know, but I saw someone wearing Juicy Couture. I was pretty hyped. Then she proceeded to smoke weed on the wall.
Well, isn't that
That's what they do.
cool?
Yes. Also, the basketball court by us is the Cage 2.0.
I know. That was interesting.
500 kids there,
or
kids. Yeah,
here.
probably 25, but yeah. I know. People still holding on. But Friday night. 80 school's
degrees,
back. 80
first
degrees.
Friday of school.
Yes.
Oh, we had our school,
Picnic.
our kids' school picnic today.
I was running the whole time.
Yeah.
Playing chase.
It's funny. Like, there's not many, like, really, until you get to 4K, there aren't really like options for public school pre-K by us. So our kid goes to a
no 3K by us. No, I don't think so.
private school, which I feel like until he'll be able to go to public school, but like I feel like it's a different vibe. Like a school picnic, like
Was it a picnic? There was no food.
you bring your own. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like
No
the
food.
coddling. I love our school, but
there was one of those canopy rainbow things that I commandeered. And then some like
Times have
some
changed.
ropes.
Just coddling
Lovely.
kids being coddled in general. I said this on the last podcast, right? Like my parents sent me on the A train at like 13 in the
Yeah.
90s.
Crazy.
Like, hope you make it back. Or I don't even know if they said that. They were just like, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Um,
I told you I was in high school.
and
with
I
someone
walked
listening.
home from school at like in first grade by myself. No, I had two of the kids in the neighborhood that I walked home with.
Yes.
Granted, very safe neighborhood, but like now you have to like do a retinal scan to like drop your kid off or pick them up somewhere.
Yeah. There's probably like a code at the school that changes every day. And like, it's insane. Yes. I know I'm behind with like our security measures and our kid has already been there. I need to get this up to date or he's going to be kicked out. No refund, clearly. You've lost your seat. Money? No. So I got to get on that. No, I know. My mom like wrote down our landline on an index card, like call me, and like with those rotary phones that you had like, I could not use one today. Yeah, you had like,
My aunt had a rotary phone for
I want a
long
rotary phone right now. Yeah. God,
There's a book I read to our son, and it has a rotary phone in it. He's always like, "What is that?"
I know.
Like, it's called a rotary phone.
Rotary
You'll
phones.
probably never see one of those in your
No.
life.
The only people that have landlines are our parents' generation.
Yeah, I kind of want a landline.
Why? We'll have like a 646 number randomly and get like spam calls. Come on. You don't want a landline. You don't want a landline.
Makes you feel a little legit to have a landline, I think.
Or old. A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I don't know.
We're going to talk about the Zen evangelist that came out of the woodwork to preach the gospel of Zen post episode. So I can talk about it. So Zen caught fire within the 2 weeks of my life. All of a sudden, Zen was like, I walked by one of these newsstands, like the last newsstand in New York City that exists on Chambers. Guy had 17 boxes of Zen. He was about to load up. So obviously Zen's moving. So
Yes, a lot of people are
I know
into
Zen's
it.
moving. Philip Morris.
And it's not just the kids, because like a lot of our compatriots, weighed in on Zen and said, give it 5 minutes and it's great stuff.
5 minutes. You need like 5 months. All right. So a box of Zen. So Zen's doing his thing. So the Zen users are like, don't be a bitch. Get back on the horse. You can handle it, including maybe a family member of yours was like, how were you feeling the day you took Zen? Like, were you hungover? Were you drinking? I was like, both. Yes. I was like, but I was drinking Coors Light. I wasn't I was just having a good time. He's like, I think so. I don't know. Something was off. Like you weren't on your game. I'm like, I don't know. I've spoken to at least 5 people now have come out of the woodwork to document their meltdowns on Zen. Every one of them within 10 or 20 minutes puked, flipped out,
Flipped out.
lost their
Needed to be
shit,
committed.
needed an hour to shake it off. In my case, plus. So I'm wondering with our Zen folk, is there a referral code that Philip Morris gives you if you get people hooked on Zen so you can get Zen for free?
Oh, you want Zen for free now.
Considered it. If Philip Morris were to come back, tobacco companies, if you want to start advertising again, we'll hear your pitch. If they were like, I will give you some amount of money, but you have to take Zen on air every time you do a podcast, and they would show my progression, and then I'm just like, just a Zen guy. Sure, I'm doing it. I'm saying yes to Philip Morris International.
Okay. Good to know.
No, it's too crazy. But yeah, the Zen people ride hard for Zen, naturally.
I also wanted to address
Okay.
how it's kind of hard to do a podcast with your significant other when you bicker on the way to the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Very
You are very neurotic about, and always have been, about like travel. Whether you're like worst backseat driver.
There's worse. There's far worse.
Literally in the back of
far worse.
In the back of
in
a
your
cab,
family.
You're the worst. You just mumble like angrily under your breath.
1,000%.
Like how the guy's taking the wrong fucking route. Always.
These Uber drivers
never taking the right route.
No. With Uber drivers, they've never learned New York, right? They just are automatons.
I mean, I agree.
And not all. So sorry. I know people are catching strays on this show largely because of me. I'm sorry. However, Uber driver, Like, you can't drive 25 in
I
the left
agree with
lane on the Bell Parkway.
Okay,
You're
I
gonna
agree
get us
with you.
all killed.
That's not what I'm saying.
You're gonna get us all
You're
killed. Not just
You're diverting. You're diverting.
no,
I
but
agree. That's
you,
something we
you
agree
need
on.
we need context because I'll be the first one to admit my sense of direction's appalling. I went to the bathroom just now and left the other way I came in.
Agreed.
However, Manhattan,
If you say
got
left,
it.
you go
Manhattan's
right.
easy. It's a grid. I got it.
You're just you're
There-
staying off track here.
No, I was like, this is how we're gonna walk. This is how we're gonna do it. And I avoided lights.
I have to like.
and we went
literally-
through Louis
order-
Vuittonville.
We went down Canal Street, which
Handbag,
did make me feel-
handbag.
So thank
Rolex,
you.
Rolex,
Like,
Rolex.
That did make me feel good. So I'll give you credit.
Do we have enough cash to buy this?
No, probably not.
Sure.
I don't know.
What if
I don't know what how much were they when we were
I'm
young?
sure these guys are like on the Cash App. They got some shit going.
I don't know. Anyway,
They do.
all I'm saying is my point, after you tried to divert my point, is like you need to backseat drive a walk.
Just in Manhattan.
It's like
Just in
this is the
Manhattan.
most, and you swear you know it best. Like the most efficient way to get here, like
I call it game theory. It's certainly not game theory, but
you have to cross. This is where we have to cross the West Side Highway. And we have to stay on the east side of the street because there aren't a lot of lights.
the
And
wind is coming from the northwest at 13 miles per hour. Yeah, all this is being factored in
so
real time.
annoying.
I'm like flight air traffic controller.
And then when I'm like,
It's
in
basically
charge
on
of
the west side of Manhattan
if I'm in
too.
charge of the
I was
walk,
in the Lower East Side. I'd be like, I have no idea where I
if
am.
I'm in charge of the walk, I'm just getting like shamed the whole time.
Well, you
like,
just
if I
force
take-
marched
oh,
us.
You're taking the scenic route. Oh, like when I walked to school the other day. Oh, this is the scenic route. Oh, this is where the Citibank people are.
The horde of
coming.
Citigroup, they're horrifying. They don't want to see me in a stroller. I don't want to see them 50 deep. They come at me in like blue. It's just like team blue.
Anyway,
And it's just me in a stroller. Thank God I have a stroller, or else I'd
you
be
should
engulfed.
maybe you should be a taxi driver.
No. I want fine. Can I have like those beads they used to have? Those
Maybe
like
that's like part 2 of your career.
it has to be a checkered cab. Not even like I was around for checkered cabs. Start there. Checkered cab, the beads. Those guys all used to rock for their backs.
Yeah.
The bead things.
Yeah.
Those guys wouldn't even take you to Brooklyn up until like 2014. They'd be like, nah, I don't know.
Let's talk about getting a cab like the
Right,
night.
and then you guys wouldn't even pay these guys.
I always
I
fucking
know,
paid.
I know, but sometimes
No,
you guys-
some of my dick friends didn't. But
and you totally took this. This guy has to like go to JFK and like prostitute himself to get his
coming
fare
from
back.
the city at like 4 in, coming home like when we were in college,
And
like
ghosting a
we were,
fare.
like home for the summers, and we'd be in Rockaway and we'd go
Brutal.
out in the city and come home at like 4 in. People would. I always paid, but some other degenerates would get the guy to go to the beach wall and then run onto the beach into the darkness of it.
So bad.
That is bad karma.
Bad karma.
But getting a yellow cab to take you to Rockaway.
Also, I could buy a
and
medallion right now. They would pay me to get a medallion.
Like-
It used to be like $2 million. Now it's like free. It's like handbag price. So yeah, let's do this. I'll get in a yellow cab. I'll go to Long Island City, pick it up, gas it up, and drive around in a fucking Ford Escape.
because you know how to drive best. You are the best driver.
I'm not. I
in
never
New
said
York
it.
City.
Never said the best driver. And
Or you know the best route always.
on the west side of
You
Manhattan.
don't need a GP. Like you don't need
Walking.
to look at traffic. You know where the traffic is. It isn't walking, riding, no matter what.
Well, it used to be just like stick to 10th Avenue, and then Hudson Square screwed it up for all of us. I had it. I'm just saying the west side of Manhattan. You take me to the LES, I'd be like, I'm lost. Like, I'm hitchhiking. Get me out of here. I'm going to a bar. I don't know. Yeah, no, this all stems from my sense of direction being terrible. Really terrible. It's like shockingly bad. I hope our kids don't have that, or God, but also our kids will never know what it's like to be lost. Speaking of before and after things. Yeah, it's mainly a
Our
projection.
cell service is down. They
You
could get lost in the financial district.
You can, because it gets
'Cause
wild.
that's like where you,
I got
cell phone
yo,
service goes to die.
I was meeting a buddy to watch a football game last season, and like Gold Street like gets interrupted, something crazy, and I'm like, dude, he's like, I can't tell you how to do this. I believe in you that you can do it. I'm like, lived here my whole life. I'm
Did you
fucked.
do it?
I did. I just like
Walked around in circles.
I walked
If
through
you
a-
walk around in circles enough
I
in the
walk-
financial district, you get somewhere.
don't look at your GPS or you're gonna like have a mental breakdown. I walked through the building basically. I was like, that's amazing. Yeah, I'd be pretty spun around there too on some of these like back roads. No, west side of Manhattan. Yeah, that's it. It's like all a projection. It's like Wizard of Oz stuff. It's like my sense of direction's bad. I have to overcompensate. I think.
It's ironic though, because your sense of direction is bad, yet you are just very adamant about telling people how to get to places.
I don't backseat drive like that. I just mutter under my breath. Like I should fucking want I just one star this guy. That's so aggressive. They one star me.
I've never one-starred anyone.
My Uber rating is like 4.65. I'm like, what did I ever do to you guys?
I know. I don't understand why mine's not 5 stars either. Like I always just sit there with my headphones
Yes.
in.
You want to talk to me? I'll talk to you about anything. Whatever. Let's do this. You want to have a
I threw
conversation?
up in an Uber.
You did. I think that like ruined it for me. 'Cause I think it was my Uber. I was gonna bring you brought it up, so we're here.
But I threw up on myself
Sure.
intentionally.
The guy was demon mode. I had to go upstairs. I've got like whipped.
I was like, "Fuck."
He didn't hit us with
We
the
were just right
didn't hit us
outside
with the
of our
cleaning fee. I
apartment.
don't think he hit us with the cleaning fee or Uber.
Well, because it was all over me. I intentionally
Yeah.
threw up on myself because I was like, I
Yes.
don't want to get like in my drunken mind.
That
I
was a
like,
controlled burn of a throw up too.
I
It
was like,
not-
I don't
not
want to
fun.
ruin this guy's car. So
Yes, you just got slumped over. All right, you said I think that probably was my Uber account, and he probably like reported me to.
that's the
corporate.
only thing I
I
can
probably
think
got
of
negative 5 stars.
that
I'm on
like
probation. I'm just surprised they picked me up.
that's the only thing I can think of that like tainted my Uber rating.
Yeah,
'Cause I always overtip. I always just sit there with my headphones in.
Yes. Yes. I don't think. Yeah.
One night from 10 years ago is haunting my Uber rating.
But we can't decide whose Uber it was. Yes. And why are they all named like something weird? Like I had a Uber driver named Shady.
That's a great Uber driver name.
It is. It's also.
That's the best Uber driver name I've ever heard.
It's pretty good. Shady was good. Yeah. I have complaints about Uber drivers. That you can't drive. You can't be driving like 35 on the Jackie Robinson or the Belt.
Do you
Like,
ever 1-star an Uber? I've
No.
never. I always give 5 stars.
No,
at least
yeah,
20%.
so I actually
Sometimes like 20.
I understand 1 star, you get like a call. I think this is very anecdotal and very secondhand. A guy I worked with said he 1-starred an Uber driver that like was going off the handle about like just saying shit you would not say unless you were in like a, I don't know, Klan rally and in Florida. And he 1-starred the dude, and Uber it the faceless fucking entity itself called him, and they're like, so what happened? Because like at that point with a 1 star, like there's the only quality control Uber cares about is probably like that kind of shit. No, for me to 1-star guy, I think they'd have to spit in my face, like crash the car, inferno, spit in my face, and like tell me to walk. That's it. 1 star is aggressive. I think I've handed out a few 4 stars in many Uber drivers. Obviously, I'm still grumbling about this. Many Ubers, I wish I gave them like 3 or 4 stars. I don't got that in me.
Me neither.
So I'm like tipping these like people in like a store that they just like handed me a bag of chips. They like flip the iPad, and I'm like $5 tip. Yeah.
No,
I can't. No,
I'm
I know.
doing a hard no on that these days.
The iPad, I know.
And I'm hospitality.
We're late to this rant.
I'm a
game.
hospitality person. I worked in
There you go.
restaurants as a waitress for 10 years, as a
So-
bus girl, and
So
then a waitress.
Real buck pass.
And then
Come
I
on,
worked in
guys.
the liquor industry. I am all about big tips.
Yeah.
I'm not tipping when I've like pulled something off the shelf and I'm paying for it. Like
Sometimes I don't even need a bag.
don't turn the iPad
Most of the time
around.
I don't even
Don't
know.
turn the iPad around on me and like tip. What am I tipping you? I
Brutal.
literally just pulled something off the shelf and I'm trying to pay
It's
for it.
it's out of control. The deli by us
It's very
has a weird 3%. I mean, I'm literally getting groceries. I'm not like I don't do the sandwiches there. I should because people fiend. But they have like a 3%, 5% tip. I'm like, what are we even doing here? Like, how is this program? This is insane. Yeah, this tipping culture, I get it. It's still in a lot of ways a cash town. Like money will get doors open for you, and from the highest of society to the lowest, you tip a freaking freight elevator guy, and like he's not gonna be like, all right, I'll stay on for another 30 minutes. I'm not, all right, I won't take lunch. All right. But these saying the cash, greasing the elbows goes a long way in this town and is very tolerated. But like this iPad shit, when like you've literally just put something in a paper bag, it's kind of rough. Pay your people more, store person. Just do better. Don't pass this on to us. We're all hurting here. And then last thing I was going to comment on. Not last thing. Wolf, can we stay here for 48 hours? US Open.
Oh my
like-
God, tennis season.
Like,
I can't.
I'm trying to think because I think something is moving into, okay, what is like the most
You know,
be seen New York thing in your head? not knowing.
I've
Let's
talked a lot about this with people
let's
of
forget
late.
punt restaurants, right? We can't do restaurants. Like, cool. If like Kanye or Drake showed whatever he calls himself, show up to Carbone 5 years ago, that's it to do. Everyone's like, that just happened, right? Shut down, whatever. What do you think in terms of like non-restaurant place? Do you think is like the biggest place to be seen? I've got my 3. One has just hopped into the ranks because of recent success.
Courtside at the Knicks.
Courtside of the Knicks because the Knicks finally got out of the first round of playoffs, and that became a thing. And Timothy Chalamet, our native son, prince that was promised, is, brought us back. I mean, obviously Spike is OG. Spike was there during the fucking 25 win seasons. But Timothy Chalamet and all these people, like, we've got a new set of fans. So I think courtside of the Knicks, certainly 1 or 2. Do you think the US Open has
I mean, yeah, there are a lot of celebrities there.
a lot of celebrities? All of a sudden, that little tennis court wall thing outside of our house
But
is
honestly,
basically
I think
booked up till 10 p.m.
What's that?
The tennis court wall outside our house
There's
is like,
tennis season now. Now there's a tennis season in
there's
New
a tennis
York City,
season in New York.
which is
The US Open hats all come out.
okay. So I'm pretty angry about this in general, especially because we live with all the finance bros that
Mhm.
like to go to the US Open and just
More strays.
general like.
More people catching strays. Sorry.
I mean, I used to be a finance bro. Like I roll with like I talk.
They are your
I can-
people.
They are.
You're self-loathing a little bit.
Yeah, it's mainly self-deprecating. But like anyway,
You love it. and-
no, I hate it, but I can talk the talk, and I'm smarter than most of them.
Needed a
But like,
You want to go to the US Open.
no, I don't want to go to the fucking US Open.
What if we didn't have to get in the Uber?
No,
Heli.
no.
Okay, fine. Continue. Sorry.
I've just realized. Okay, so I've been ranting about this, like just in everyday life to friends and coworkers, whatever. And there are a lot of like people who have moved to this city, in the past however many years that grew up playing tennis, and they are tennis fans, which I think is nice.
Yeah.
Like, you like tennis? That's great. Like, you should go to the US Open. You know this stuff.
Awesome sport to watch
Like
live. Awesome.
Yeah, like you follow it, you play it. This is your sport. This is your day.
Your weeks.
Whatever it is. My beef is like the people who have no idea what tennis is. They don't even know how it's played.
Honeydews.
They're there for the fucking good on you, Grey Goose.
Grey Goose.
Honestly, that's
Get
the
the
most
bag.
respect I have for the US Open.
Grey Goose. Holler at me with Phil Moore.
With the honeydews. But just the number of people that go just to like put it on the gram.
Naturally.
It's become like such an Instagrammable flex, and I'm just like not really sure how or why that happened. I guess it's to your point because celebrities go. I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe are celebrities tennis fans? They're from different.
I
Parts
don't know. I feel like
Anyway, they're from everyone. All these celebrities are from different parts of the country. Tennis is not like a New York City sport.
no. I mean,
Like you don't. Did you grow up with anyone that knew how to play tennis or played tennis? Maybe like in the burbs, like Long Island, like.
no. I mean, John McEnroe was on the Upper West Side, so you'd see him around. Speaking of Grey Goose, I saw him go in the liquor store and buy a handle of Grey Goose. That was pretty fire. On 86 in Columbus. But no, tennis, I feel like does go in waves of popularity in America because especially when there's American men that are quite good. Been a long time since it's happened. I mean, everyone loves Serena, best, tennis player that's ever lived, probably male or female. But yes, we're on another level of like, we're all tennis fucking aficionados all of a sudden. I feel like it's kind of trickles down from Wimbledon, which is also a place to be seen. Obviously, like
Yeah.
David Beckham's there. I couldn't even tell you who's at Wimbledon.
Like people just live for
it.
where celebrities are going, where the
1,000%.
brand is telling them to go, and
Also, the most insane Uber situation when we actually did go to the US Open a handful of years ago. Our Uber was stuck in time, stuck in the Matrix for 6 minutes, and it took us an hour and a half to get out of there. We should have just got the 7 train. That was dumb.
yeah.
Also, I mean,
Anyway, I'm looking for. It's over this weekend, right? We can say goodbye.
the women's final is this weekend. The men's final is the day after, I believe.
Yeah.
God, I wish I knew more. Someone email us.
can
And
like
you can
break
you
down
could torch
the, like,
us.
fake court at Brookfield Place too that they have.
They put it up for 5 seconds, then it went right back down. Totally.
Can stop wearing their U.S. Open hat.
Yes.
We can move on to bigger and better next season things.
Next season, Jets Giants.
Oh God, that's not bigger and better.
Giants making the playoffs.
No, they're not.
Giants making playoffs.
The Jets are not making the playoffs. So
Probably not, but I don't know. It's gonna be fun. Justin Fields, it's gonna fucking run,
it's
man.
never fun.
It's not
Being a
fun.
Jets fan is
It's
not
wild.
fucking fun.
It's
We can
wild.
talk about this in a different episode because I'm
It's-
sure we've been talking
it's-
for an hour now. But like,
Yep. Right there.
we'll save our football for
Let's
Yes,
save it
we-
for next Thursday when the Giants and fucking Jets get rocked.
Okay.
And we're already done firing coaches. Where's the new GM? The Giants just sold the minority share to the Koch brothers. I don't know. We're not like an oil rig on the field at MetLife. Wild.
Well, I'm glad we addressed an important day in this
It
city
is.
and world's history and
And
shared
it-
our
and it-
stories. Bear with us that it was a little nerve wracking
It's dark.
and
It's really sad.
a little of a disjointed episode, I think here, but
Good.
kept it real. Hopefully, I'm gonna go treat myself to a cocktail.
Where are we drinking? You're the boss.
Because we have
I won't
babysitter
direct
as
us.
usual.
I won't direct
babysitter
us.
for
Don't
like
even tell me what we're drinking. Let's just get there.
45 minutes.
I
I've
won't
been
talk.
thinking about where's a good place. to
No,
go.
I won't talk. This is like blindfolded, blind date, like surprise. Here's your new car, 16-year-old. But it's a bar. And it's for me.
No, I think we're gonna go to the bar at Odeon, have a martini,
Wow.
probably
Never-
some fries.
Never. Yes. The New York Happy Meal, according to New York Mag. I'm
Yeah,
there.
which has been something that people have been doing since the beginning of time,
Wow.
but cute name for it.
Thank you, New York.
I just feel like that's some old school Tribeca shit.
It is.
And I
Established
also
1980. Let's go.
And I just started reading the Keith McNally memoir, I Regret Everything. And he is the man behind that establishment.
Oh, he is.
Maybe we'll see a celebrity. It's a celebrity haunt too.
Yes.
Or always was. I think one of the time. Whatever.
Yeah.
Not why I'm going there.
Celebrity spotting. Saw one close to us. Notable New York Knicks fan and New York Mets fan, and a darling in a lot of my
Okay, I
friends.
was wrapping this up.
Sorry.
I'm
Emmy
always trying
Rawson.
Are we just gonna? We're gonna do this every time.
No, this is it. This is it. One paparazzi, like right in her grill, and she said, "Go Knicks." It was great. Emmy Rawson, you're dope. Good for you.
And just like
Got in her grill.
general,
Got
gonna
her
just
trailer.
end. Just gonna end it with a general mad love for New York.
Of course.
Sty Kids, Rockaway fam. Thinking about you always on this day, and
First responders, 1,000%, and everyone that
and
helped.
the city. Just my heart's with you.
And the city soldiers on.
Okay,
Bye.
See ya.
Good job, y'all.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. It was good.
I appreciate it.
That was hard to do.
It's tough.